Hello. Well, that was a bit high. Hello, welcome back to the No Excuses podcast. I think this is episode 8. Welcome. My name's Anne and I live in Worcestershire in England with my husband and our dog Bertie. I've got the door shut today. Well, I'm shut too. Whether he'll make an appearance or not. I hope not, because then he'll get trapped inside the room. I won't be able to let him out. I've got quite a bit to rattle through today, so I'm hoping I'll keep my eye on the camera. I'm hoping that it'll be about 40 minutes as usual. I hope you're all well and that you've been able to be busy in the last week since I last chatted to you. It's Saturday afternoon here and the weather is dull-ish, so if I sit back I might be a bit darker. I've got makeup on again. Doesn't seem to do anything, but we have bought some net curtains to put at this patio window so that hopefully it will make a difference to, it'll diffuse the light a bit, especially on a sunny day. Anyway, I have got some notes, she says, trying to pick up her book without not looking at looking away from the camera. Let's start at the very beginning. Now, Marina, I am going to start using my Lush term as my notebook. I'm going to copy some of the notes from this tatty one, old one, and I'm going to put it into the new one, but I think I need a bigger Lush term than the one that I've got, so I might buy another one. I'll have a look at what other notebooks I've got first, because I do love a notebook, but it's like deciding whether to break into it and spoiling it, and it's silly, isn't it, really? It's like that special skein of yarn. Well, what shall I use it for? I'm a bit like that with notebooks. Anyway, today we've got some makes. Don't look at my jumper until I talk about it, please. What's on my needles, and a little chat in a minute about some more shawls of mine. And then we're going to talk about some mals, some make-alongs. So, first of all, where you can find me, I am Spaknits, Spaknits, on Instagram and Ravelry. I put all the links below in the description to my contact details, and also usually everything I talk about in the episode. If there's anything I miss, please do get in touch. I have made a No Excuses Ravelry group, but again we'll talk about that in a bit, and that's ready for the mal. So, okay, so let's talk first of all about 3 more of my shawls. I have got photographs for 2 of them because they were knitted for other people, and I've got a 3rd one to show you here. My friend said to me, she said, you slurp your drink and then you push your glasses up your nose. Right, and then I pushed my glasses up my nose without realising. She said, you just did it again. That's what friends are for, aren't they? Criticise. She did. Anyway, right, the first one I want to show you is Ziggy, which is a lovely triangular shawl designed by Locatelli. My friend Debbie wanted a shawl to wear to a winter wedding that she was going to in 2019, and she was going to wear black and red to this particular wedding. She needed to keep warm because she didn't enjoy the best of health. So I decided on the Ziggy because it was big enough for her to wrap around her shoulders, but light enough not to get in the way. And I chose, I did it in grey and red. I didn't want to do it in black, because things like the lace on the Ziggy wouldn't show up. I think the Ziggy, from what I remember, is done in a single colour on a lot of the photographs of the original design. But it's got bands of garter, and you can put stripes in, obviously, where you want to. And lace, and it's a really nice shawl to knit up. Actually, I tried to knit it in alpaca and cashmere silk mix first for myself, but I felt that it was a bit soft for it. It didn't hold the shape of the lace as well. I'm not very good at blocking, that's, you know. And I started knitting it. I'm thinking, no, actually, I prefer the structure of a merino rather than the alpaca, really. But I'm sure that plenty of people have made it in alpaca successfully, and it would be lovely and soft and drapey. Anyway, I meant to look up how to pronounce this. Shepsis Metropolis. I bought 2 different greys, the Nice and Jakarta colours, which are both a mid and a pale grey, I think. And then I also have got a Biff Sugar yarns in slate, which is a slightly darker grey. I think that's the way it goes. Those are the 3 greys I used, just for a bit of tonal. And they're all 75-25 your standard merino sock. And then the red is called Red Poppy, and it's something I had in a mystery box quite a few years ago now by Unbelievable. And Debbie was very pleased with it. Yeah, and I was too. So I'll put some photographs. While I'm talking about this, you would have seen some photographs of the Ziggy shawl. So that's the first one. The second one I want to talk about is the simple shawl that I made for Cath, my lovely mother-in-law. I knitted this up fairly quickly for her last year to send her Easter. Her birthday is on the 2nd of April. So sometimes it's nearer Mother's Day and sometimes it's nearer Easter. And this year it's on Good Friday. Now this is, again, it is a triangle, but I just did my own design here. When I say design, I mean, from what I'd learned about the structure of shawls, I did centre decreases and side decreases. I probably took somebody else's, you know, I might have done 3 garter stitches at the beginning or something like that. I did a yarn over. I didn't write it down, I just went for it. It's got some texture in it. It's got a bit of eyelet work and a bit of, you know, it looks like 2x2 rib and some garter and some stocking stitch panels in it. I think I did about 1.2 skeins of the yarn, which this time is the alpaca silk and cashmere, and it's called the Celeste. It's a Celeste colourway by Hedgerow Yarns, and it's a sort of it's nearly a duck. It's a duck egg bluish colour, and it's gorgeous. And she liked it. She said it was nice because it was small enough to sit under a coat neckline, or just to put on top of a jumper when because she does feel the cold. So that's the second one, and they're both triangles. And it's triangle day today, because the third one, which I'm going to show you in person, is and I love this. This is a best friend, a girl's best friend, and it's very similar to the original colourways that Isabell Kraemer put into her design. It probably needs reblocking, and I think I've stuck to the pattern. I don't think the bubbles are an addition of mine. I think they were there, you can see them. And then you've got a detail on the bottom. This is a very popular pattern, and rightfully so. It's got little triangles to say but it's been rolled up in my drawer. I've not worn it for a while, and I love it because of the colour combination, and I also love it because of the yarn it's made out of, because it's got a bit of cashmere in it. Now, I made a mistake on this, which I'm going to admit to. The 2 green panels that you can see there are the same lace, and they shouldn't be. They should be a different lace pattern. But me being, gun-ho, shall I show it you? Which is the right way out? Oh, that is the right way. Yeah, so you can see that. And then you've got a ring on here that's catching in my yarn, so I'm just going to take it off. And then at the top there's stripes of garter and stocking stitch with your centre decreases in the middle, and then you get the contrast colour that borders the others I say I can't remember whether I made any changes to this. It might be in my Ravelry notes. This is by Isabell Kraemer. It's gorgeous. The green colour is Misty Woods by Eden Cottage Yarns. Victoria is lovely at doing colours. She uses nature and her garden as inspiration, and you can see it stands out really well. And that's a 75-25 merino in her tempo. 75-25 called tempo. So it's a Misty Woods colourway, and that's really, really pretty. It's like a pale green. And then the pink is Ballet Slipper in Cashmere Sock by the Wool Barn. Maya at the Wool Barn. I do love her colours. And this is Pecan. It's a bit more gingery than that coming out. And again, you know, I mean, knitting with the cashmere, I'm not knitting with it before. I wouldn't dream of putting the cashmere sock in a jumper for me, because you know about my pet hate of pilling. But, oh, in a shawl one, it's so nice. So nice to knit. And the colours, I just love these colours together. I really, really do like them. And in a way, you see, you knit a shawl and you think, I really enjoyed that, I'd like to do another one. And then I've got all these other patterns, so, excuse me, I can't put it there because something else is there. Anyway, disorganisation is not one of my skills. Yeah, you see a shawl pattern, you knit it up, you think, oh, I'd like another one of those. But with shawls, I've got quite a few, which is why I'm showing you. But I don't hardly wear them unless I go outside. I rarely wear them indoors. And I need to start making an effort to do that, because they're wasted otherwise, aren't they? I mean, I've got so many that I try and give them away to people as well. Have a shawl. Go on, take it. You don't want one? Doesn't matter, just take it. Because I love knitting them. Yeah, it's a shame really, isn't it? Perhaps when we get out more, we start going out a bit more, then I'll make an effort to take a shawl with me. Especially at this time of year, transitional, or if I go out in the summer, I think I might get a bit nippy. Instead of taking a jacket or a cardi, I could take a shawl, couldn't I? Anyway, so that was my shawls. I hope I didn't rattle on too much. We're at 12 minutes 54. Okay. What am I wearing? Da 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 da. I'm wearing my City Limits. Can you see that the neck's a bit wide? Let me just take you off here very carefully and show you. And it is. Sorry, I hope that didn't make you too dizzy. Serves me right for taking you off. Okay. If it all goes black, right, I'm going to have to start again. Sorry about that. Now, this feels lovely, and it feels heavier than my other two, which I knit out of minis, but I know that's just in my mind. But I knitted this out of whole skeins, you see, so in theory the minis one's got more ends in it, so it should be heavier. But I'll list the yarns I've used below, and I did do, sorry, I'll put the lady's name on the screen, about starting at the bottom with a darker colour when I picked up for the neck. Basically, you just pick up all the stitches and then just do the neckline of your choice. I mean, there's a couple of choices in the pattern. And all I've done is stocking stitch so it rolls. And I did that on the previous jumper, and I like the look of it. So why is this bagged out? I don't know. I'm going to have to do something about it, but I'm damned if I'm undoing it again, because yet again I've taken what was left after the orange yarn and I've shoved it into a magic knot ball. I'm being too tidy. I was so disorganised, and then I tidy up, did quite a bit of tidying up this week. So I think I'm going to run some stitches in and just take it in a little bit. If I can see the ends and I can undo the ends, I'll undo a row. I'll undo the decrease and I'll undo a row, because I did do Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast off on it. So I've used plenty of yarn for the cast off, but it's still, you can see that it's still baggy, and I don't really like big necks on me because of my very narrow shoulders, so I will do something to it. I'm going to declare it finished because I will sort it this week, but I probably won't show it again on the podcast. But once I've finished it properly, I'll put some photographs up of me wearing it, okay? Promise. So yeah, that's my big neckline. It's getting bigger the longer I wear it. It's warm, it's lovely, I'm enjoying wearing it, you know. It won't be a house jumper, I'll try and wear it out a bit more than I do one of my other ones. So, enough of the colour, Anne. Well, orange and pink and thing. Where's Swamp Monster gone? Well, you know, I was struggling with the back. And in the end, I relied on maths. I kept thinking the raglan on the back was far too big. And in the end, I measured my row gauge because it was the height that was bothering me, really. And I was all right. I don't know why I worried. Well, I just followed the pattern. So this is the back. I'm not going to show you thingy, but just see the pattern on the yarn. And I've done, which I may regret now, oh, you can't see that. It's a holy, stick my fingers through. It's a holy, I've just done the raglan has got eyelets along it. Can't really see it against my hand. I will find a way to show you. And I've knitted a front, because once I, go in, I've got loads of little stitch markers in showing me the decreases on the front slope, because this is a V-neck. This is the left front, and this is the pattern, the lace rib pattern that was in the Patons book, Family Knits. It's one of my hairs there. It's not one of my hairs, it's one of the dogs. But actually, he doesn't really get onto my knitting, so it's always mine. Yeah, and I'm really pleased with that because it's a bit stretchy to go over me with zooms, and I measured it and the raglans are the same. The only difficulty I had, because I chose, not difficulty, but if you knit lace, am I showing you the right side? That's the left, no. That's the right side. I mean, there's barely any difference really, because the lace is worked on both sides. But because I've done an eyelet raglan, it's clashing a bit with the, you can see it better there, look. Those are all the eyelet raglans. And I've got to be consistent. I've tried to be as consistent as I can along the front edge where I'm decreasing against this lace. But I think it's going to look okay. It doesn't really show up on the screen very well, but it's going to be all right, I think. I don't really have a problem decreasing with lace, probably because of years of practice with it, and I like lace, so I've done quite a bit of lace work. And this is just a 4-stitch lace repeat that basically you do on both sides. Not the same, but you do a knit version and a purl version, so it's really easy to do. And so when you're decreasing, as long as you're somebody who can read their knitting a little bit, then I don't think it's as complicated as some. I did use most of the ball on the front, so I'm now on the second front, which I won't show you because it's in the other room and there's nothing new to see on there. So I will have one ball of wool left to do the sleeves and the front band. Now the sleeves don't need to be very long. I want them to be just elbow length, or just about elbow length. So what I thought I'd do is sew it up, do the front band, and then split the difference so I knew what I'd got left for the sleeves. I've got a couple of little bits and pieces left over if I need them, but yeah. and I need a bit of yarn to sew it up, but I could always sew it up with something else if I was that that desperate. But yeah, I'm getting there, and I'm hoping to finish that. It might not get finished this week, it might be the following week, but it won't be long. And I've already started thinking, have I got any buttons? Mother, got any buttons? I'm slowly getting them. I told you, I'm slowly getting my mother's haberdashery. I've got nowhere to put it, but I'm slowly acquiring it. I ask her for something and she gives me a load of stuff. And that's good, you know, I think. So that's my cardi progress, and I am pleased with that. Sorry if it just wobbled. I kicked something underneath under the chair. Turning the page. Well, you never guess what. I've done some sewing. And I've made a cover for my sewing machine, which is right next to the phone that I'm recording on. But I'm going to put some pictures in because it's against the window. And ideally, I need to get Tom to take some photographs of it. So while I'm talking about it again, there'll be some pictures put in to show you what I've made. Mum and I have both got a brother sewing machine at the sort of the top end of the bottom of the market, if you know what I mean. They're computerised. One does a few more stitches than my mum's. But we've both got the threading, self-threading mechanism. And I couldn't get my mum's to work. Yeah. So it's a similar shape. That's what I'm trying to say. I do waffle, don't I? And I've got a plastic cover on mine because mine's a bit posher than hers. Yeah, hard plastic. She says knocking. And she's got like a nylon flimsy cover. So I had her cover and I've made a pattern out of it with craft paper. Cut the cotton. She gave me some old cotton. It's a bit faded in places. But I just wanted to protect the sewing machine for the summer because it's that light in the window and we get the sun on the garden, particularly first thing in the morning all year round. And I did have the idea of quilting, wadding it and quilting it because it's got lines on the material, and then it would be more sturdy. But I found out I didn't have enough fabric because I gave half back to Mum so she could make one for her machine. I think that's what she wanted it for. But now I think I've made it. I know the pattern works. I've got some lovely fat quarters from Hobbycraft. I bought 3 packs all the same. So I'm thinking when my sewing's improved, either later this year, early next year, I'll make myself a patchwork quilted cover because I've kept the pattern, you know, line it and everything, and then make a matching coordinating mat to go with it. I'm not a particularly matchy person, but you know, I've got a bit of matchy about myself. I like things to be coordinated, so yeah. So I'm pleased with that. It's turned out okay. It's purple cover. I've used white stitching on it because I wanted to see where I was stitching. I did it deliberately because it is a 12 of sorts, isn't it? Really, it's a practice one, but it's a very functional practice one. So I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. If I could reach, I would. Okay. Right, let's talk about new stuff. I know people have got different names for this, but stuff is a nice general term I like to use. So I'm going to try and remember what I've bought throughout the month or the week. It's not even a month, Anne. We've bought, well, a couple of these I had before I spoke to you last time, but I wanted to introduce you to what I've had recently. So I've had 2 patterns, and again, photographs will come. And the first one is a kaga or kagar cardigan, very oversized, with a lovely reversible rib type design on it by Ruriko. She's got some gorgeous patterns on Ravelry. This is done in 4-ply, and it's like a boxy shape, and the sleeves are definitely rib. Now Penny's cast this on, and I'll get an update from Penny about. She said it was slow going, She didn't know too much about because it's no buttons type of thing to begin with. She didn't know about the edging, but then she decided to cast it on. She said it's slow going because it's all rib, which I didn't appreciate when I bought it. Would I have bought it if I realised it was all rib, or do I just get carried away with the discount? Yeah, well, I can answer that, can't I? Yeah, discounts. Yeah. It's a bargain. I must buy it. But I do like it. And the second one, second of 3 patterns that I've acquired recently, I did say that I shouldn't add to my stash and I should use the patterns that I've already got. Is a Qatar pattern by Sari Norland. I got a few of Sari's patterns and I've not knit any of them up, but I'm determined to do this one. It is a gorgeous, it looks like a twisted stitch pattern to me. It's done in DK, which means it will grow fairly quickly, or you can use the 4-ply lace mohair combination if you want to. It's a discount. She's having a knit along in her Ravelry group if anybody's interested, and there's 20% off until the end of May. Now, if I get my act together, I might join that. I don't normally join Mals because I forget that I've joined them. But I've been waiting for this pattern to come along for a while now, and I love it. And even my mum said, "Oh, I like that." She doesn't wear jumpers, but she prefers cardigans. But my sister gave me some yak by Crafts, some red colour, and I keep finding different things to knit in it. But the reason why I want to use it, is it DK or sausages? I'll have to have a think about that. If it's 4-ply, then I don't want to add mohair to it because I want the yarn to stand out for itself. In which case I'll use it for the other pattern, cardigan pattern. But yeah, oh no, sorry. I have another green. I have a quantity of green, I think 600 grams of DK by Estella Midwinter Yarns. And guess what it's called? It's called That Swamp Thing. So green and swamp seem to go together well, don't they? I mean, when you see them on the telly, they always look like muddy brown, but anyway. And I tried to use that yarn a couple of months ago, and I kept casting on different things, and I wasn't happy with it, and I wanted to make sure that, because I love it so much, I wanted to use it for something I'd be happy knitting it in. And I'm going to get it out again, do a swatch and see if it holds the stitch. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, if it shows up the stitches well enough, then I will knit that jumper in that, because I think I've got enough yarn. And the third one is Goldwing by Jennifer Steingass. Again, I've got 3 of hers already. I've not knitted all of them. This is a worsted pattern. And I've got some Aran, coiffed Aran. And after seeing that lovely poncho that Ruth made, Ruth loves to knit, I really need to get it out because it says Shetland. And I don't know why, but I think of Shetland as being a bit coarse, and it is not. So I'd like to knit that. But I've got 4 different colours in that. So whether I can do, like, I don't know. You know, Jen's patterns are all sort of lovely leaf type designs on the yoke, and then I'm doing all these hand movements, right? And you can't see what I'm doing. I'm like a magician going, da-da, except I've got no da-da. So yeah, Jen does these lovely yokes, and yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. I've got all these things bouncing in my head, and yes, I need to start putting them down in a notebook, which is what I said I'd use that other notebook for, because I forget what I've discussed, but I need to get snippets of each of my wall, and I think I'll start doing that. Just take a tiny bit off when I've got a sweater quantity of each one, so I know the colours, and I don't have to keep asking Tom to get them out the loft. Anyway, that's my new stuff in terms of patterns. I'm going to stop now, and I'll see you back in a minute before this stops itself. Hello, back again. Okay, what else have we had? Well, I've had my nature club for March from Emily Bannister of Rhapsody Yarns. Rhapsody Yarns and Notions. And this is called Spring Tulips. And it is rather pretty. It's blowing out a bit. The pinks are blowing out. It's blowing out at the end. But basically, it's orange, yellow, pinks. Tiny bit of purpley brown on there. Gorgeous. And I'll tell you what, Sal, this is very reminiscent. Reminds me of some of the ones that you sent me. You know, for giveaways and things. Very similar in tone. Ever so pretty. So that's really nice. So I had that in Superwash BFL. Don't know what I'm going to use it for. I think I might save all my yarns from Emily and at the end of the year see what I can make, because there might be some that tone together. And if they don't, it doesn't matter, does it? And then it came in a big box. I was like, why is it in such a big box? And I have to say, if you want a yarn club, then from what I've experienced, Emily is very good value. I've had some over the years that I've been a bit disappointed in, you know, and I've put it on Facebook, so I'll say it here. I've paid over £30 for a yarn club. I think it was a quarterly or half yearly. I think it was quarterly. And I got a skein of yarn and some stickers and a little notebook, you know, that was like 2 inches tall. And I was like, have you missed something out, you know? And I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything, but when you buy a mystery, you're already taking a risk with the Mystery Yarn Club. So, you know, having done things myself and sent them out, it doesn't always cost a lot to add a few little things in, to be fair. Anyway, that's the end of my moan for today. I don't always find them very successful, but I recommend Emily's. So this is a little box, and it says on it, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. Now, Emily's a keen gardener, and inside I've got several bags, little bags of bulbs and seeds. I'm going to tell you what they are. Wildflower mix, Brigid anemone, and I just bought an anemone. I just bought an anemone the other day. Crocosmia, I like them anyway. Tall. I've got some wool called Crocosmia. Ixia. Now I'm not sure what they look like. Ixia. I'm not sure what they look like, so I'm going to have to look them up. 2 more to go. Allium, obviously. Alliums are, I don't know what. You see, I'm telling you what they are, right? And then I'm holding them up and you can't read them. Anyway, trust me. And then finally, gladioli. You know, good old Barry Humphries. Is it? Yeah. And Morrissey, like the gladioli. I've got some big square planters and I bought a couple of plants for them the other day. And something tall at the back of one of them is rather nice, I think, like the glads. So we'll see. And then also, there's a lovely handmade, if I tilt it that way, better colour, handmade felt brooch of a daffodil. I've got some lovely brooches, you know, and again, like the shawls, I don't wear them, mainly because I wear crossbody bags and they can get in the way of those, but I need to find a way of attaching them to my handbag, maybe. But isn't that cute? And then finally, there's a little tin, and in here are some wax melts shaped like fluids. I mean, that's a lot. I paid £22 for all that. You know, I don't know how she does it for the money. These probably won't stay with me because they're very, very sweet, and I don't think I can cope with the smell of them. I've also not got anything. I don't know what you need for wax melts. But if they're unused, and for instance, somebody might send me something for a bath, like a bath bomb or something, which I can't use because I've got a wet room shower. Then I don't have any qualms really of, passing them on to somebody else when they're not used, and have not had my fingers in them, not been dabbled with. So that might be in a forthcoming giveaway. Unless somebody writes me and says, no, I don't want your wax melts, by the way, that you showed a few months ago. Yeah, right, let's do that. Oh, I've got to be reasonably tidy, otherwise things will fall away. And then we've got a big reveal. Well, I say big. Let's say a medium-sized reveal. Because I've undone this box, but I haven't opened it, and I thought I'd share it with you. And this is from Yarn Unique. And it came in a really, really well-wrapped sellotaped box. Wrapped in brown paper, this was. And this is what comes in here. And in here, it says on there, Softly Pastel. From Yarn Unique. I'll put details below. And you're going to see it before me at this rate. Oh. It's all wrapped up. I didn't think of that. Excuse me while I fiddle. Oh, there we go. That's her. Oh my god. These are lovely. And there we go. Look at that. Talk about springtime. Aren't they beautiful? Look at those colours. And these are all 75-25 marine. Do I need any minis? Do I heckers like? Why do I buy them? Because I'm stupid. Tom said I spend money like water. I think he might be right. But I'm just collecting a few minis together. I don't think, because I bought those Fearless Yarns ones and I've got these toner ones, I don't think I need any more, she said. And I've said that out loud on a podcast, so it must be true. Don't try and do it up, I'm getting into a mess. Okay, so there we go. Those are what I've acquired in the last couple of weeks or so. And I don't think I'm going to be, sorry, got an itch on my eyebrow. Don't think I'm going to be acquiring things at that rate. Although I have a couple of things in the pipeline coming. Okay, so that's all the normal stuff thing. I'm going to talk about where I've been and what I've done. But first of all, I want to talk about the mals. Now, my idea is that I'm going to open 2 mals. One is going to be from the 1st of April to the end of the year. And it's going to be the seasonal mal. Now, I'll put the rules, if you like. I don't want to make it too strict. But also, I don't want I think it's unfair to say, if you've done a dishcloth, then you get the same chances as somebody who's done a jumper. Although it's all personal choice about what you make. And by making, it can be knitting, crochet, sewing. It can be wood whittling. It's entirely up to you. If you're going to do something small, then I'd rather see, 3 or 4 of them or whatever. If you're going to do dishcloths, then, do a nice little pack of them or something. And again, a pair of socks, it'd be nice to see 2 pairs of socks. But I don't want to be too strict. I don't want to exclude anybody. So, I want it to be fun more than anything. Now, I'm going to call it seasonal cow because although it's going to run to the end of the year, and I know it doesn't quite tie in with the official start of spring, summer and autumn, that's what I'm going to divide it into. So from April to June will be the first part, and that will be springtime. So you will make something that can relate to spring, and that can be Easter related. It can be flower. It can be the colour, name of the yarn, the name of the pattern. You know, it can be pastel colours, any flower colours, which means anything almost. You know, tell me what the link is, because, you know, if you've made something and you want to link it back to the springtime mal, then put it in. Because I don't envisage that I'm going to have thousands and thousands of people, I'm quite happy for you to put in. You can enter as many times as you like. So if you enter, but you'll still only get one go. But again, you know, if you made something tiny, it'd be nice if you could put something else in as well. So from April to June, and then from July to September will be the next one, and that will be the summer item, and that'll be more to do with holidays, and that won't be open until the 1st of April anyway. Holidays and sea, sand, sun, you know, that sort of thing. And then stripes, maybe stripes, deck chairs and things. And then autumn, obviously autumn colours, leaves, decay. No, I don't mean that. So, you know, I mean, springtime can be baby things, can't it? You know, baby bunnies, baby balloons, baby things, animals. I want to just try and theme it a little bit. If you can convince me, then that's fine. It's a fairly loose thing I'm talking about. I did put a minimum of 200 grams, but, you know, let's see how it goes. I'm sure none of you are going to be saying, you know, I made a single granny square and this is my contribution. But I know other people, you know, it take a while to do a single granny square. So, anyway, stop waffling. I'm going to put it in the Ravelry, and that is the seasonal mal. And I will open the first tranche from the 1st of April to the 30th of June. There will be a prize for each segment, each season of the 3 that we've got left this year. And then there will be a grand prize at the end of the year where people will, if you've entered each one, you'll get 3 entries. And if you've entered 1 or 2, you'll get, you know, so the more you enter, the more chance you've got of winning. Maybe you want to win a wonky bag, don't you? You might even get an Oceans pouch as well with a wonky zip in it. I mean, it's different work, you know, but... Excuse me. And the second one I wanted to do was... now, I haven't watched it. I meant to go and watch Kate from Hawthorne Cottage, and I used to watch her a few years ago, and she's lovely. But I thought she'd stop podcasting, you see. And so I'd unsubscribed. And I do subscribe and unsubscribe to people. I don't know why. I just like having a tidy list. So I need to resubscribe to her, and I need to watch her podcast now. Because I get the impression she's doing use something from a book that you've had on the shelf type of thing. Now, I'm going to call mine from Stash or Shelf. And by that I mean this is going to run from the 1st of April to the end of August. And it's something to wear, right? Now it can be a shawl and it can be a garment for an adult. But yeah, it's going to have a minimum of, see, if you made a love note, for instance, even one in my size was only 287 grams. So if I put a weight restriction on it, then actually that excludes quite a few of these nice floaty jumpers. And I'd like to see if that's what you've got in mind. And I know that in the Northern Hemisphere, we might be making cotton things or linen in the summer. But some people, I mean, I will knit with wool all the year round, really. So, anyway, this is my first mal, so be gentle with me. So so it's either going to be something you've had in stash more than 6 months, or a pattern that you've had that you've not used before, okay? Simple. I'm not going to say a minimum weightage, but it needs to be a shawl or an adult garment. Even if it's a tank or a long sleeve jumper, you'll get an entry, okay? I will do a finished object and a chattered thread for each. I'll work out how to do that, because I think you can lock. I don't know whether you can say no chatter, but anyway, I'm new to it, bear that in mind. But the second mal, the from the nestashorshelfmal, and I need to think of a snappier name, don't I? Is really crochet or knitting. Okay, I suppose we could include dressmaking. Yeah, we could include dressmaking if you're making a dress or a blouse or a pair of trousers for yourself, but not just a headscarf. Okay, so let's include that as well. Something wearable. Okay, now I'm completely flummoxed, Junior, banging your head against the table. I think it's time to slow down, relax, and just have a little chat. I've actually been out of the house. I met my mum and dad at the garden centre. It's literally around the corner from their house, about 200 yards away. When did I meet them? Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I know lockdown's done this to people, but I've been retired for 5.5 years and I've no idea what day it is sometimes when I open my eyes. So, I hope this is recording because I didn't put the sound on. That'd be annoying. The microphone should be separate to the sound. So yeah, I went down there and I bought a couple of plants. I bought another pink called Doris, which is a sort of a peachy colour. Dianthus carnation type, but I love the smell of pinks. I bought another lavender because I love lavenders. I bought a Hidcote lavender this time because I think they do quite good flowering. They flower for quite a long time, I think. And then I bought an anemone. I bought another one, Erysimia. Anyway, I'll put it on the... what else did I buy? I bought a lupin. My mum loves lupins and I think they're quite pretty. Because towards the end of last year, I bought 2 planters from there that are they're probably about 18 inches by 18 inches. And Tom says once they've got stuff in them, he ain't going to be able to move them. And they're going to go, what we loosely term as the patio, outside, a bit of concrete. And they're going to sit over there by another couple of planters I've got, smaller tubs I've got. And I'm going to fit them into there. So, yeah, hopefully they'll get planted this week. And he's already planted some Japanese anemones that Mum gave me from her garden because I love those because they flower for a long time. And they flower at the end of the season, you know, as you come in towards autumn. So they're a nice splash of colour when other things in the garden have been and gone. So yeah, I do like, I can't do any gardening, but I do like the, I do like flowers. I think they're pretty, and I'm quite mad about bees. In fact, I tried to find my bee earrings that my workmates bought me, the tenor ladies bought me for my 60th. I've mislaid them. They're somewhere safe. I don't know where they are. Oh, speaking of somewhere safe, this is my hire one. I will talk about my different needles one day. These are my hires. You can see that they've got the blue cable. And this is a 16-inch hire with a 4mm interchangeable tip on. And I've been knitting my city limits with my chiagoos. So I'll stick to my chiagoos, and I needed for the neck, I'm going to put that ring back on now. For the neck I needed a similar needle, and I've got a 14-inch cable, and I've got some 4mm tips, and they're all together. They're in one, you know, they've been screwed up together. Do you think I can find the things? I've looked everywhere, I've taken the place apart virtually. I do wonder whether they've fallen down the side because of me being so messy. Tom's had a quick look and he can't see them. So yeah, I don't have to buy them again really because the chiagoos are quite pricey. I like them, but I do find they undo more than the hires. I've been trying to, you know, I don't want to force them really. You can ruin the thread on your needles quite easily. So It's driven me up the wall this week. It's so annoying when you can't find something. Anyway, I think it's probably time to go. I've done nearly 50 minutes of chatter. I don't think I've got too much to edit because I don't tend to edit very, very harshly. The tits have been in and out of the box more frequently, so I'm hoping they are going to use the box. Nothing showing in the robin box that Tom put up last week yet. It's early days still. So, yeah. I will love you and leave you. I hope I've caught all your messages. If I haven't, and you've put a message in one of the earlier ones, and you asked me something you'd like an answer to, put it in one of the more recent comment videos. Write to me on email or what's the other one? Oh, Instagram. DM me on Instagram. You know, I love talking to you. It's really, really interesting. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself, and I've had such gorgeous feedback on, you know, I was like, oh, it's so nice. I don't know what I've done to deserve it, but I'm having fun, and that's the main thing. Right, end of waffle. You take care. I'll see you at the end of next week. I might start to podcast slightly less frequently at some point. But for now, I'm enjoying doing it every week to 7 or 8 days, you know. 7 days is a weekend. You take care. Look after yourselves. And I'll see you around Easter time. All right. Ta-ra.